Chili Cheese Junior wrap.
Good morning. Who knew when we made that winter open for the show a few weeks ago that we would kick off the month of January with snow on the ground for so many of you? What an exciting way to wake up with the kids still home from school and the new year just beginning to have a chance to linger over an extra cup of coffee, maybe even get out there and build a snowman. The kids still are home from school, an awful lot of them are. They'll be heading into a new session of school in just the next several days, and with that comes kind of a review, I'm sure, for a lot of the parents and grandparents out there, that midway point in the year to kind of see where your kids are strong, where they need to work on some things, asking lots of questions for the teachers, and really thinking about the importance of your children's education. A perfect time for us to kick off the show with Senator Beau Watson, who for a long, long time has had education at the top of his wish list, and he's beginning the new year with a series of town hall meetings. Good to see you this morning.
Good morning and Happy New Year.
Same to you. You know, it wasn't that long ago, much different weather system, but not that long ago, that you and I were outside talking about a town hall meeting of a different sort, really focusing on the power of reading for our kids and the need to enhance those reading levels. This series of town hall meetings, a little bit different, right?
Right. So obviously, you know my passion about reading, and anytime you want to talk about that, I'm happy to discuss it. But a few months ago, Governor Lee and the Tennessee Department of Education announced that they wanted to begin a conversation with the citizens of Tennessee about how we fund K-12 education in this state. Now, currently, we use what most Hamilton Countyans would know as the BEP, the Basic Education Program Funding Formula. And for years, even before I was elected to office, people in Hamilton County felt like the state's funding formula punished Hamilton County and didn't provide us with the proper amount of state funding for our school systems. And BEP really dates back to the late 80s. It's over 30 years old, and it's probably time to take a fresh look at how we fund our K-12 education system. And so the governor and Commissioner Swin, who is the commissioner of the Department of Education, put together 18 different subcommittees that are looking at the formula. And one of those committees, or the more important committee, is the steering committee, which I have the honor of serving on, which we have the responsibility for all these 18 other subcommittees. We will be helping guide this conversation about how we fund K-12 education in the state of Tennessee. And I thought it was important for the people of Hamilton County to have an opportunity to hear their voices heard. And so I've scheduled 4 town hall meetings across my Senate district to listen to the folks from this area about what they think we need to be doing funding-wise for K-12 education.
Okay, so just for folks out there to know, I'm hearing this information. This is all new to me too, as you and I talk. So the questions popping to my head might be popping into viewers' heads as well. So you talk about the funding of it and the different ways we can fund it. Besides tax dollars, how else do you fund it?
Well, I mean, in Tennessee, we fund K-12 education through state dollars, which is a myriad of different tax collections, but locally we fund it through our property taxes. We are not really talking about the sources of our state's revenue. We're talking about, in funding K-12 education, how does the public believe we should be spending their dollars? For example, should we be allocating money differently for students with disability? Should we be allocating money differently for low-income students? Those are the types of questions that we look forward to hearing from the public as we discuss it. Now, the public always has the right and should express their thoughts about the different revenue sources that we might use. But in reality, we're talking about how we spend the money rather than where the money comes from.
Okay, that was the literal side of my brain in action, but that makes complete sense to me. Okay, so then with this series of the 4 town halls, this is where I guess kind of democracy in action will take place, because if we just have gotten off a several-day run of focusing on the arts in area high schools, public high schools, and the importance of funding those. So for parents who might feel strongly about that, they can show up and have their voices heard. Wherever your particular wish list might be, this is your chance to speak to the power of it.
That's exactly right. And this is truly a listening town hall. This is not to debate policy or determine policy. This is to give the public the opportunity to stand up and say, I think we ought to be spending more money on the arts. I think we ought to be spending more money on career technical education. I think we ought to be spending more money on K-3 than we are. I mean, it's just a really democratic and the small d way of people having an opportunity to participate in the process. And, you know, people always complain that they don't have an opportunity to have their voice heard. And I just want to be sure that the people of Hamilton County feel like they've been given that opportunity. There are other ways that can be done. The state has set up a website that's tnedu.funding@tn.gov, where people, and you can go and look and see the comments that people are making about how we fund education. So it's really, I give the governor credit here for really stepping out. This is a heavy lift, but for stepping out on the ledge here and saying, hey, let's take a serious look at how we do this in Tennessee.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what you've done too for the locations, because you've done a great job of hitting as many as you can. So you've got Red Bank area coming up on January 13th. Then you're off to Abba's house in Hickson on the 20th. Then you're heading out to College Dale on the 27th of January, ending at the fire department on Highway 58 on February 3rd. Are any of these going to be virtual, or are they all in person?
At this point, they're all in person.
Okay.
And we will, you know, part of doing this is what our response rate is like and how engaged the citizens are. And if there is a need to do more, or if there is a need to do something virtual, that's certainly something we can consider. Mm-hmm. The Department of Education is doing some virtual town hall meetings all across the state as well. This is not just happening in Now, I as a member of the Senate, I'm doing this within my Senate district, but the Department of Education are having similar kind of meetings all across the state of Tennessee. They're just not as robust as the ones that I've scheduled.
I think we have about a minute or so left. Do you hope that this will be more of a parent turnout, or are teachers also encouraged to come to lend their voice?
Well, I mean, anyone that lives in Hamilton County is welcome to come out and lend their voice. We do want to hear from parents. One of the purposes behind the discussion around the new funding formula is to empower parents to engage themselves in the education process, mm-hmm. Particularly of their particular child or grandchild or guardian or whomever it might be. We have learned in the past couple of years that parents are a really important part of our education process. And the first teachers of any child is their family and their parental unit. And so it is really important that parents feel like they have a voice and they engage themselves. But the only way you can have a voice is to engage yourself in the process. And so I really encourage people to participate. It will make a difference in what we do at the state level and how we fund our K-12 programs.
And I think you did a great job of kind of letting folks know the tone of the meeting, where you said y'all want to come and hear. It'll be very hopeful, I guess, if other parents can come and say what they believe and what they hope to see, and then listen as other parents say what they would like to see happen. And who knows what kind of data you could walk away with. It could be one of the most powerful things to come our way in a long time.
Well, I agree completely, and I think this is one, again, I salute Governor Lee for stepping out. It's a bold step. We have struggled with the BEP for really decades now, and this is an opportunity for us to try and get it right.
All right, Senator Beau Watson, thank you so much for your time this morning, and Happy New Year.
You're welcome. Thank you. Happy New Year to you, and stay warm.
Thank you. There again at those locations beginning January 13th and Red Bank. The dates to follow, all of them run from 6 o'clock in the evening until 7:30. A chance for everyone, hopefully, to get their input heard. We're back after this.
Ashley Home Store's New Year's mattress sale ends Monday. Save $400 off select Stearns & Foster mattresses or get 0% interest financing for 6 years. Plus, get up to $300 Ashley cash on qualifying mattress purchases. Only at Ashley Home Store.
At Jack's, everything is made with a dedication to Southern flavor, starting with never frozen, always fresh chicken fingers with fries, and our new cherry fried pie. That's just more to love. Jack's, all about the South.
I got hurt in a car wreck and I need a lawyer. How much does it cost to hire Jay and Brent?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
That's right. It costs you absolutely nothing up front to hire us.
We don't get paid until you get paid.
It didn't cost me anything for Jay and Brent to get started on my case, and they got me $1 million.
I'm Jay.
And I'm Brent.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call us.
We're on top of it.
Hurt in a car wreck? Call 265-1100. That's 265-1100.
When you've been diagnosed with GI cancer, waiting for an appointment can feel like forever. But one call is all it takes at Cancer Treatment Centers of America to start on your treatment plan with our team of experts who are pioneering techniques like cryoablation to shrink tumors, one of our many treatment options you may not know exist. Because cancer isn't just what we do, it's all we do. Call now.
Smile. Your Goodwill donations are working. People get second chances thanks to your secondhand stuff. With your support, our Goodwill has been helping people help themselves for nearly 100 years.
It's the final days of Ashley Home Store's New Year's sale. Last chance to save up to 30% off. Find this queen bed now only $379. Or get 0% interest financing for 6 years. Ends Monday. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Start your morning with Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
So often, our days are kind of filled in the wintertime with some gloomy weather, and the holidays have come and gone, and you can feel a little bit low maybe as you go into the month of January. So this morning we thought we would kick things off with some promise for you. Charles Miller, a frequent guest of ours here on 3+U, has Scenic City Neurotherapy, and he says, no, you're not crazy. This time of year can be stressful for all of us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You know, I'm glad to have you. There really is such a thing as seasonal depression. It does not mean that you are weak. It's just that by human nature, we need that sunshine and beautiful weather to keep us stimulated.
Oh, absolutely. It's this time of year, you know, we don't get the typical white Christmas with all of the beautiful things that surround, you know, the holiday. We get kind of a gray, rainy, cold weather here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's, you know, a small concession to live in such a beautiful place, but it takes its toll on people. People have a really hard time with this dark gray all the time, and I think a lot of people don't even recognize how much it affects them until they end up in a place where they're struggling. So
what you do at Scenic City Neurotherapy is you have a way of helping people, whether it is seasonal depression, whether it is a more exacerbated form of depression or anxiety, might be caused from a trauma in your life or a recent divorce, something like that. But you use this ketamine infusion to help people not necessarily cure it, but get strengthened to then find the cure on their own.
Absolutely, and that's really the best pathway to what we call a remission of depressive symptoms, meaning that we don't make you feel better, we make you feel things in a better way, make you better able to recognize your triggers, better able to move yourself forward, working with your counselors, your mental health providers. It's just one thing we can add to your process to make you the better version of you.
I don't pretend to understand what your clients feel, but if you're someone who loves a person struggling with a mental illness at the moment, it can be hard if you don't suffer the same thing to really put yourself in their shoes. Is it kind of like if you were to fall and really, really skin your knee and it burns and it hurts really bad, and someone's telling you, just quit kicking your leg so that I can put this treatment on there. It hurts so bad at the moment, you can't quit kicking your leg.
Mm-hmm.
Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah, it's a lot like, I use the knee replacement a lot. There's something structurally wrong. And, that's what we've learned about mood disorders, is that it's far more physiologic than we've ever given it credit in the past. If this was a thinking problem, you would have thought your way out by now. Unfortunately, that's not the case. This is more of a neuronal injury, and we can explain that further. That's a lot, it's a whole bunch to explain, but that's one of the reasons we do our no-cost consultation, so patients can come in and learn about this firsthand, straight from the horse's mouth, per se.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what you do, because I've talked to you so many times I can forget that people watching this morning might be hearing you for the first time. So you are a nurse anesthetist by training, right?
Mm-hmm. That's my background, yeah.
And what you are using is ketamine, which is a common form of anesthesia, especially in pediatric patients, so it's tested and safe.
It is. It's the safest of our anesthetics. It's used with children 6 months and older. It does have a lot of stigma around it. A lot of people have an idea about what it is, but it is first and foremost a children's anesthetic.
So you're not giving it in an anesthetic form to your patients, right? It's an infusion that they're getting.
It's an infusion, slowly infused. It's a very low dose, and so the patient's always aware and in control. I think that just from our experience and just from the way the literature states how this should be administered, there's too little and too much. And so it's very important to do this correctly to get the appropriate therapeutic dose. And so that's our job as anesthesia providers, is to administer anesthetics appropriately, safely, and effectively.
So how does it work exactly? Because I know you also are able to use this for people who have chronic pain. Fibromyalgia is an example. So how does this work exactly?
So using fibromyalgia as an example, we see exacerbation with physical pain with fibromyalgia, but it has a strong emotional connection, meaning that increased emotional stress will usually cause the pain to worsen over time. And what we do is, it's called a neuropathic pain disorder, meaning that the brain is sending an inappropriate pain signal. And what we do, we don't deal with just, say, depression or anxiety. We optimize the way the brain communicates. So I tell people, don't think of this like a mood disorder treatment. Think of it like a brain optimization treatment. When we optimize the way the brain communicates, we don't just see the mood improve and the coping strategies actually start working better. We see, certain neuropathic pain disorders start to resolve, or at least go into a state of remission for a period of time to where the patient can improve their day-to-day quality of life, which is the overall goal.
Okay, so we talk a lot about brain training now in American culture. We all, I think, understand that you can teach your brain new ways to process, as you say, at any age. So is that why you do the repetitive treatments? Because I think you do this over a course of like 6 to 8 weeks for people. So as they go through the procedures, it strengthens their brain to kind of rewire a little bit?
Well, each time we do this, we trigger the brain's natural process of self-optimization. The ketamine itself has no antidepressant properties or anxiolytic properties in itself. That's not what it's used for. We use it as a catalyst. It triggers your brain's natural process to self-optimize, and it does that through a series of events that it gets a little thick from the neuroscience perspective, but it is one of our natural built-in mechanisms to optimize ourselves, and so we just trigger that process using the ketamine as the catalyst. We actually do that as well with transcranial magnetic stimulation, which is a non-pharmacological way of doing this. So there's no medications given. We actually use a very light electromagnetic stimulation to trigger this process. But whether you use the TMS pathway or the ketamine pathway to trigger this protein release in the brain that optimizes the brain, either way stimulates improved neuronal communication, which then leads to the clearer and more functional way of thinking, as well as, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I have like a minute left, real quickly, but that's why then that you work in conjunction with psychologists and therapists, because depending on how much work you're willing to put into it to further that self-optimization, the farther along the pathway you get.
Absolutely. We deal with the wiring, but then you've got to tell the wires and the new brain cells and all of this new neuronal communication where to go.
Okay, I think that I'm right that your consultations, which you love to educate people, are at no charge, correct?
Absolutely. They last about an hour. You get me or one of our other providers undivided attention for a full hour. We don't charge anything. There's no, some places they'll say free consultation, but they'll actually need free consultation if you sign up today. It's across the board free. It's just education.
Okay.
Anyone that wants to learn.
So if you're feeling a little bit blue going into 2022, I didn't mean for the play on words there, but there you go. You can give them a call. It's Scenic City Neurotherapy, the phone number 228-0579, online at ScenicCityNeurotherapy.com, and watch for him. Thankfully for us, he is a frequent guest here on 3+U. He and his wife and his whole staff so believe in what they do, and they would love to educate you on the benefits for you or someone you love. Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Growing up, I could always count on my dad to help me make the right choice, from the right eyeglasses to the right college. So after he suffered a stroke, I knew it was my turn to help him make the right choice in rehabilitation. I asked his doctor who she trusted for the best care and outcome, and she said, Encompass Health, the nation's largest system of rehabilitation hospitals and the name more medical professionals refer to. My dad has always wanted what's best for me, so I did what's best for him. Encompass Health.
If you're disabled, don't go through the Social Security disability process alone. Whatever your disability, we can help you. The attorneys at Warren & Griffin have over 600 5-star reviews, more than any other law firm in Chattanooga. Call right now. We will help with your application, paperwork, communications with Social Security, and appeals and hearings. Let us handle your stress.
I'm C. Mark.
I'm John Mark.
We don't get paid unless you get paid.
Ask about our zero attorney fee guarantee.
Call us at 265-HURT.
We are your local law firm.
Did you know that you don't have to be 65 years old to qualify for Medicare? That's right. In fact, many people who are already on Medicaid also qualify for a Medicare Advantage plan. So if that applies to you, that means you don't have to wait to get access to WellCare's simplified plans, streamlined benefits, and savings. You can start taking advantage of it all right now. Better yet, you can do it for as low as $0. Because at WellCare, we offer our members $0 or low monthly premium plans, $0 copays for primary care visits and prescription drugs, dental, vision, and hearing coverage, free grocery and prescription delivery, and access to in-home visits and 24/7 virtual visits. So whether you know you're eligible or suspect you might be, call the number on your screen to request our free all-in-one guide to Medicare, or visit us online at enrollwellcare.com. WellCare. It's Medicare done well.
As we enter 2022, my goodness, that is hard to say. No doubt, like me, you're thinking about your New Year's resolutions, and maybe some of it's going to be about weight loss and improving your finances. Some of it might also, though, be what you want to do to further your soul and your spirit. And a lot of us for that will mean considering giving to the local organizations that make our community such a wonderful place to live. So enter Jane Kaler, who for years has been almost the face of the Ronald McDonald House Charities. Good to see you this morning, Jane.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am so fine, and I'm glad to see you this morning because I think over the Christmas part of the season, an awful lot of us probably had conversations around the table about how blessed we were to have our health. That's everything when you're listing your blessings. And yet every day y'all are helping families whose children are not in good health and they need that support.
That's right. You know, there's nothing I think probably worse than having a sick child, and having a sick child in the midst of this pandemic that seems like it's never going to end is even worse. But fortunately, we've been able to continue to provide our services all through, the challenges of 20 and 21, and as we are entering 2022 here, hoping things are going to get better for everyone. But, the Ronald McDonald House always needs help. We've been so fortunate to have the support of the community, despite the fact we've had to cancel events, because of the pandemic. And so we're just grateful for all the donations and everything that people bring to us.
I sat back like a lot of people did probably around the Christmas week and watching Channel 3 and seeing about the generosity of this community that we live in, the Santa train and the Forgotten Child Fund, and on the story goes. When there is a need presented, people in the Tennessee Valley step up. Y'all could not have done what you've done all these years without that support.
We would not have been as successful, been able to help so many families and to, operate our facility inside Children's Hospital. A couple of years ago, we added a hospitality cart to our program over there. During part of the pandemic, it was paused, but we're back up and operating with it. It was really important during the worst of the surges of the pandemic, when some of the families were quarantined, could not even leave their child's hospital room to go to the cafeteria. We provided snack bags, and so there's some essential services that people sometimes don't think about, the logistics of being in the hospital or having a child in the hospital, and how important it is to have, just a place to rest and food and a place to take a shower. Sometimes the shower is the thing that keeps you going day after day.
So talk about what y'all might be needing right now, because you've had to learn to pivot. That became the word of the last couple of years as the pandemic's face showed itself in different ways. Is monetary donation still the main thing you need, or do you need volunteer help?
Well, we are trying to gear back up with our volunteer program for the family room inside the hospital. And we know that there are some of our volunteers who probably will not return to the program. They have to be fully vaccinated, and that's a challenge for some, and some of them are fearful about coming into the hospital, but it's a big need. That program's totally run by volunteers, so we do need new volunteers for the family room. We always, one of the things that's been such a challenge during the pandemic is providing food for the families. With our Adopt-A-Meal volunteers having their challenges, and we were only able to have 4 in the house at a time. We've had to order a lot of food from restaurants for the families, and so restaurant gift cards are really appreciated, along with just monetary donations. It takes about $75 per day per family for us to provide our services at the Ronald McDonald House. And so the increments of $75, you're helping one family for one night.
And help us remember too, Jane, so many people here in Chattanooga can forget that for people who maybe live an hour, even an hour and a half away from Chattanooga, y'all become the hospital for their child. They don't have the ability to run home.
That's exactly right. For some of the families, particularly those kind of from the Blue Ridge area up on the Ocoee, it may be a 2-hour drive to home. And when you have a child in the hospital, particularly a neonatal baby who's sometimes in very precarious situation, or a child who's getting cancer treatment every day, not only is the travel tough on the families physically, it's tough on them financially also too. And so having a place to stay right next to the hospital is such an advantage for them, both physically and financially.
Well, I know I've got to let you run. For people who want to give, is the best thing to do to go online, or can they even just send you in an old-fashioned check? How are you doing that?
Well, we take it any way it comes. Old-fashioned checks, appreciated, and we are seeing a lot more online donations than we used to. But we'll take it any way you can drop by. We've got an easy way to drop by food or donations of paper goods, things that help us in the house. All you have to do is just drive up to the back of the house and call a number that's posted out there, and we come out and get it. So it's kind of curb service at the Ronald McDonald House. But we'll take it any way you want to give it to us, and you can call us and give us your credit card number. We try to make it as easy for the donor as possible.
Well, thank you for your years of dedicated service to the families there at Ronald McDonald House, and we just value you very much, Jane. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on today, Julie. Happy New Year.
You love where you live and know you're not ready for a move. Mobility at Home can build your dream bathroom with a walk-in tub or a barrier-free shower to ensure you enjoy your home for years to come. Call Mobility at Home today. We make everyday life accessible.
While today may be gorgeous,
tomorrow may not be.
That's why we issue Storm Alert Weather Days.
so you know what's coming.
And you can be prepared.
That's the Storm Alert team's commitment to you. That severe weather coverage you can count on.
I got hurt in a car wreck and I need a lawyer. How much does it cost to hire Jay and Brent?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
That's right. It costs you absolutely nothing up front to hire us.
We don't get paid until you get paid. We're on top of it.
We opened Scenic City Neurotherapy to provide a very unique and very needed service to the Chattanooga community. It is the first step in a new direction of self-care. It is an optimization treatment as opposed to a Band-Aid.
I have a variety of different conditions which cause pain. I've been opioid-free for a little over a year.
Scenic City Neurotherapy's brain optimization treatments will change your life. Visit ScenicCityNeurotherapy.com or call today.
Jack's Big Bologna Breakfast Sandwich is back. There's just more to love with 2 perfectly fried slices of bologna topped with eggs, cheese, and Texas toast for just $3.49. Breakfast made the Southern way. Jack's, all about the South.
O'Reilly Auto Parts World of Wheels Custom Auto Show, January 7th through 9th. See customs, classics, and feature cars, and meet TV stars. Plus, free Hot Wheels and costume characters for the kids. Discount tickets at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Details at worldofwheels.net.
Stairs are one of the leading causes of falls for seniors. Installing a stair lift from Mobility at Home relieves that worry. Mobility at Home can also make your deck or porch accessible with a vertical platform lift. Don't move, call Mobility at Home. We make everyday life accessible.
Good morning. Some of you woke up to quite the winter wonderland, especially if you're up in the wee morning hours. Let's go through some of those photos. Denise Drayton Gibson sent this in from Mont Eagle. Certainly a huge stack of snow there on the table. Tom Benson and Signal Mountain on the Sequatchie County side measuring right at 5 inches of snow. Let's take it down to the south. Cloudland, Georgia, a beautiful winter wonderland here sent in by Sissy. And then also Sand Mountain right at Trenton by Crystal, certainly standing in a good amount of snow right there. And up to the northeast, McMinn County, you're not left out either. This great shot from Athens by Alicia, and then 3.5 inches just to the north of Etowah, sent in by Julie. So thanks so much for all of those photos. Unfortunately, if you're right here in the heart of Chattanooga, we had snow falling from the sky, but it didn't really stick on the ground. It melted pretty quickly. As we go through the rest of the day today, no more snow out there, but the cold temperatures, they're sticking around. 36 degrees at noon. Clouds will gradually clear out as we progress through the afternoon. But even still, 39 at 3 p.m., mostly clear, and 35 at 6 o'clock. Because the clouds will be disappearing, that means temperatures are going to be cooling off really quickly, down to 31 degrees at 9 p.m. Winds from the north at 10 to 20 miles per hour today. That's going to give us a wind chill. It's going to be feeling really cold outside in the low 30s throughout the day. Here's your 3-day forecast then. Topping out today at 41 degrees, cold, windy, and that partial clearing as I mentioned. I think we'll have certainly some locations staying in the 30s though all day long. Tomorrow, frigid in the morning time. Temperatures in the 20s, rebounding a little bit for the afternoon with highs at 49 and sunny. More clouds for Wednesday, but seasonable with a high of 53 degrees. So let's just run through all that with Futurecast. Here's a look at this afternoon. That north to northwest breeze certainly there, but clouds beginning to clear out. Clear skies during the nighttime hours as this high pressure moves in. Again, very cold tomorrow morning. Do watch out for some patchy black ice developing overnight, even if it's just on some of your steps or sidewalk outside of your home. We'll have lots of sunshine through the day tomorrow. Wind shifting coming out of the south, but still those cold temperatures will be with us. By the time we get to Wednesday, a little bit of a difference as more clouds shift into our area, but we still don't have to worry about any kind of rain chances. Really, the next rain chances come into the Tennessee Valley on Thursday. So here's your 7-day forecast, that 50% chance of rain on Thursday. Yes, once again, we'll be watching it for a little bit of wintry mix because notice Friday morning, another big cold blast with those lows in the 20s, a high of 42 on Friday. Certainly bundle up though for today, so maybe you're heading back to work after the holiday weekend.
If your shower or bath is in desperate need of replacement, you're going to want to stay tuned because today we're going to show you how West Shore Home can solve all of your shower or bath problems with their one-day installation.
That's right, Joe. So let's head out and take a look at what we're working on today. So this is common for a lot of the households that we come out to. It's the fiberglass shower and tub unit with a lot of exposed space up there at the top. You can see where that paint is peeling. That's because when the water hits it or the condensation builds up, that's when we start seeing those kinds of problems.
Yeah, this space definitely needs some help. So how's West Shore going to fix this?
So we'll be installing a brand new beautiful walk-in shower, complete with shower doors, new fixtures, and accessories. And the best part is, we're going to take these walls all the way up to the ceiling. So this homeowner is never going to have to deal with something like this again.
Sounds like a plan. Can't wait to see it. Okay, so the old unit is out, the space is cleaned and ready for a brand new West Shore Home walk-in shower. We'll check back in a bit. Wow, this space is amazing. Check it out. They have new sleek shower doors. They have brand new chrome accessories and fixtures. This low step in and out of the shower, I love this. And the walls now go all the way to the ceiling, as Kirsten said, which means they will never have water damage again. In just 8 hours, they transform this space from this to this. Folks, if your shower or bath space is in need of an upgrade, call the experts at West Shore Home. They can completely transform your shower or bath, and they can do it in just one day. Call the number on your screen now, and when you do, take advantage of this great offer. Take 50% off the cost of installation on all shower and bath projects, plus for a limited time, get 24 months of no payments and no interest financing. Call West Shore Home now.
Chattanooga, as you know, is filled with so many area nonprofits, each of them doing good in our community. One we're going to highlight this morning has been helping young girls blossom into young women for decades now. We're talking, of course, about Girls Inc. And Takora Johnson-Peterson joins us this morning talking about all that they have to look forward to in 2022 and what makes them so special. Good to see you this morning, Takora.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I don't really know how to encapsulate you, to be honest, because you do so much. I mean, you are part mentor, you are part tutor, you are part cheerleader, you're part investing in the community. You do a little bit of everything there, don't you?
Yes, that's correct, but it is so fulfilling and rewarding to be a part of the village of over 28,000 girls and counting.
How many years has Girls Inc. been around in Chattanooga?
So we are actually about to end our 60th year celebration. So since February of 1961, Girls Inc. of Chattanooga has been inspiring and equipping all girls to be strong, smart, and bold. And that equates to being healthy, educated, and independent.
Y'all do something every year called Unbought and Unbossed. I know that January 5th will see the deadline for those nominations for 2022 to have come and gone. But talk a little bit about that ceremony and why it is so important for the organization.
So yes, Unbought and Unbossed is Girls Inc. of Chattanooga's signature fundraiser. This is an opportunity where our high school girls are matched with local phenomenal women to be their mentors. These young ladies come from area high schools such as CSAS, Tyner Academy, and many other schools. And it's a mentoring opportunity for these local professional women to pour into the girls to be additional members of their village. And so these young ladies meet once a week to learn about how to be a mentee, so that when they receive their mentor, they're able to optimize on that experience. And we hope that that mentoring experience lasts forever.
You know, I have two daughters, so I think a lot about, in the raising of them, what I was like when I was in my teens and early 20s. And the truth is that the girls who come into your care there at Girls Inc. are all individual people. They're not just, yes, they're all girls, but they all have their own interests, their own dreams and ambitions, and their strengths and weaknesses. So I guess the trick, right, Takora, is to reach the girls where they are, not where they think they're supposed to be. Is that right?
That is completely correct. It is very important that we meet the girls where they are and pour into them, give them the tools and resources necessary so that their definition of life and love and success is best achieved. So again, we're just additional tools and resources. The mentors are additional tools and resources to help that girl thrive.
And I guess what happens, I'm sure you hear often, are from the adults who are part of that success. They find that they are enriched too, because in reminding a young person of what they can achieve and being that cheerleader and that listener for them, you kind of have some own self-discovery of your own.
Exactly, and that's one of the most important parts of the SHE program, which is the program that leads us to Unbought and Unbossed, is where these 8 nominated women get to hear a different side of them. They are phenomenal women and CEOs and entrepreneurs, mothers, wives, community advocates. They just have a very impressive resume, but they get to hear how they are viewed from a high school student. And I think that's the biggest tearjerker that comes with the SHE program and Unbossed, is that these women get to hear how they balance it all and how what they do is so noteworthy to a young lady that, you know, they have been mentoring over the last 4 to 5 months.
So I realize that we're talking to a number of people this morning. Some might be parents or grandparents of girls who they think, I'd love to have my loved one, my granddaughter or child involved in the program. How can you get involved as the student with Girls Inc.?
So, as Girls Inc. is divided into 3 divisions. So we do have in-school, after-school, and seasonal camps for girls in elementary, middle, and high school. The program that we speak of today is called SHE. And those young ladies can just reach out to us at 423-624-4757 or visit us on our website at girlsincofchatwith2ts.org. Again, we offer in-school programming at your designated school. After-school program is available throughout the city at a lot of the community centers and also Brandy United Methodist Church. And then our seasonal camps are also offered at Brandy United Methodist Church. And again, all of that information is located on our website, which is girlsincofchatwith2ts.org, or stop by. We are next to Edible Arrangements on Brainerd Road at 4505 Brainerd Road, Suite 110.
Okay, 2 things before I let you run, because I know your arm is getting tired. 1, are you looking for volunteers? If there are women who would like to be a part of your success, can they volunteer?
Yes, we are always looking for volunteers. Men and women to pour into our girls to help with administrative and program tasks that we have. And so you can also visit our website, which is girlsincofchatwith2ts.org. Hit that volunteer tab, sign up for an orientation, fill out your application, and then you can learn a little bit more about our volunteer opportunities on there as well. And we began to take volunteers in high school up until, retirees.
Okay, and the other thing I'll say is the first time I met you, I don't remember how many years ago it's been now, but you were sitting, was back in the day of in-studio guests, and you were right here on that green chair next to me, and we finished our conversation, and I said, man, you are a force to be reckoned with. You believe in what you do, Takora, and you've got a great gift of inspiring people to believe they can be more than they think they can be. So thanks for your time.
Thank you for always having us. We are here. We just believe in the work that we do and the mission, and we know that the city of Chattanooga has supported us for 60 years, and we are counting on the support for another 60 years as we inspire and equip all girls to be strong, smart, and bold.
I'll leave it at that. Here again is the contact information that she so beautifully told you about, and thanks again for your time, Takora. We're back after this.
Thank you so much.
Our homes are often our largest investment, and over the last 6 years, my team has helped over 3,000 families. So whether you're considering buying or selling, don't trust your largest investment to an inexperienced agent. Discover the Mark Hite team difference.
When I was diagnosed with cancer, every minute counted. But one call was all it took to get in right away and start treatment within a week.
One call is all it took for me to get a team of doctors all in one location to help me with my cancer diagnosis.
My doctors used genomic testing to identify a targeted therapy to treat my cancer. One call is all it took to get the care I needed.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Call now.
If you have psoriasis, it's time to see the possibilities with Taltz. Up to 90% of those with moderate to severe psoriasis saw a significant improvement. Some even saw 100% clear skin. Don't use if you're allergic to Taltz. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. Increased risk of infections and lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about infections, symptoms, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop, worsen, or if you had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Ask your doctor about Taltz.
Need cash? TitleMax offers 2 ways to get it. Get cash using your car title. Go to TitleMax.com, enter the car year, make, model. See how much you can get. TitleMax also offers an unsecured loan. No title required. Check out TitleMax.com when you need more cash. Check out TitleMax.com and shop us for rates. Get up to $2,500 without a car title, or up to $6,500 using your car title. And you'll say,
I got my title back with TitleMax.
Get your title back with TitleMax.
That mouse and I'll buy your house. Yes, it's just that easy with my guaranteed offer, as I make an as-is cash offer and you get to skip the staging, the showing, and all those repairs. So go ahead, hit that mouse.
Here we are in 2022, and I'm sure most of us, I'll raise my hand, are feeling a bit this morning about the need to get in shape, make this the year that we stick with the regimen, lose the weight, and eat healthy, and all the things that we know to do. The question is, how do you do it and find success? So we have come to the answer for you this morning. Jack Silberman has welcomed us in over to his office at In Shape MD.
Yep.
Nice to see you this morning.
Great to see you. Great to see you.
As much as you and I can brag, and we will, you love a testimonial.
Oh, yes.
So you created one in the form of Erin Owens,
Hi.
who we literally yanked out of an exercise class. So you are glowing this morning.
Thank you.
Good to see you both. So let's talk a little bit first about what makes In Shape MD so beneficial for people, because Erin is not a one-time customer, she's a two-time customer.
Yes, yes. So, you know, so many people come in that have reached the end of their road and they can't figure out what can I do to lose my weight, or I've lost it so many times and I can't figure out how to make this work long term. Erin came into us, we put her on our program, which is our HCG program. She lost a bunch of weight, and I'll let her share that with you. We got her into exercise now. Now she's into a maintenance plan. And so life changes. But people have to have a plan. They have to have accountability. They have to have structure. If you can put that in their life and fast forward the way to where they're seeing the results happen, they're going to be excited and they're going to be motivated. And that's what, and in the beginning of the year like this, New Year's, this is when people want to make that commitment. And we're right there for them.
And we're going to talk to you in a minute about some special features that he has coming up in 2022
yes.
to make you even more eager to come and be part of the family here. But Jack said life happens.
Sure.
Man, did life happen for you, Erin.
Yes, ma'am.
You lost 60 pounds and then glory. What happened?
Yes, ma'am. So in 2019, I decided to make the change. And like Jack was saying, I do very well with accountability. And so I read about the program. I came in within 4 months. 5 months, I dropped 60 pounds and I started the maintenance aspect of it. Then COVID hit and shut everything down, and I found out I was pregnant. And so at that point, we put a pin in the maintenance program because I was focused on my pregnancy. I had a healthy, beautiful little girl who's turning 1 on Sunday.
Yay.
And I went through probably about went through my pregnancy, and then probably around the 9th or 10th month, I decided, okay, I want to get back into my pre-pregnancy weight loss. And she was also gaining weight, and I was realizing picking her up was heavy. I was kind of pulling muscles too.
Right.
So I decided to come back in, and this is probably month 3. And I'm about 10 pounds away from my pre-pregnancy weight.
So here's what I think is so interesting, because I've been a new mom. When your life is complicated when you are a new mom, and you're juggling everything, and it's a victory when you get the trash taken out, right?
Oh, yeah.
So to find time in your day to want to come and exercise speaks, well, highly to what they do here, but the fun you're having. Y'all have been laughing in that room since we got here.
Yes, it's true, and this is my first round of the boot camp, of the 6-week boot camp. So this is my 3rd week. I've been working out with Anthony once a week for about 45, 50 minutes. And it's just one-on-one training. And I don't know, it's my definitely style of training, where I get to ask questions. He lets me know what I need to change, and it is lighthearted.
Well, I think too, Jack, and you've spoken to this many times before, that part of the reason you love it is not just that you're helping people discover who they can be and reach those goals, is that you help them reach them quickly.
Yes.
Because you know the psychology behind all this.
Yeah.
People can't just do this indefinitely with no results.
Right, and that is so important, because if you're working out and you're doing all the things you think you're supposed to do and you're not seeing the scale move, you get so discouraged that you end up quitting on yourself. So what we do with the HCG program is we fast forward them. So the typical weight loss for a female in the first month is 20 to 25 pounds. When you start seeing that happen, now you're really motivated. So then we can really push forward and start to implement some other things that'll make it worthwhile for them to stay in it.
I do want to ask you about the specials you have, but I have another question for Erin.
Yeah.
When people hear about the HCG and they hear Jack talk about how quickly the weight falls off, they might not know what the day-to-day is like, though. You were honest, and you said that part of it had you a bit worried because you knew you couldn't deviate.
Yes, it is, I will say the word difficult because it's more mentally difficult. The plan is laid out for you, but you have to follow it to a T. And for the first 2 weeks, for me, it was okay because I was seeing results, and I don't know, the first 14 days, it was the last 14 that I would always go, okay, 2 more weeks of being diligent, of eating every 2 to 3 hours, making sure I was getting enough water, making sure I was getting my vegetables and my meats, and that was new because I had never portion control.
But hearing people say that you had to eat every 2 to 3 hours, that was the problem. That surprises me. I would have thought it would have been, I can't eat.
No.
Instead, it was that I need to eat.
I need to eat every 2 to 3 hours. So I had like 6 alarms on my phone every day that would go off. And, you know, and while you're working, you know, I just kept like a snack in my pocket or my bag and did.
And it worked.
And it worked, and it did. It absolutely worked. Which is why I came back the second time when I was ready to recommit to that 30 or 60-day process of needing to be diligent and disciplined.
Now, you do want people to know, Jack, I think this is how I'm understanding it, that you're there for them for the long haul.
Oh, absolutely.
And some people like that accountability, like Erin said. So you've got this special incentive in 2022 to help people be a part of the program longer.
Yes, yes. So the goal is, and for the last 10 years, we've lost over 80,000 pounds. So losing the weight is something we know we can absolutely help people accomplish their goals. Keeping it off long term is really the challenge for everybody. So what we're putting in place this year, coming in 2022, is the Reshape program. And what we're going to do is once they get to their ideal lean set point, for every month after that, that they stay within 5 pounds of their goal weight, we're going to give them $100 back credit to move forward or towards the next year. So they can accomplish $1,200 credit to move forward into the next year.
Okay, so if people call you today, they can begin their journey as well, and it all begins with a consultation?
A consultation. We'll figure out what we can do to help you. We'll figure out a budget to work with you. But the main thing is that first strategy session is going to point you in the right direction, and we'll find out if we're a good fit. If we are, we're going to help you get this weight off and then keep it off for an entire year.
Okay, they're still laughing in the class, so you have time to get back and join the fun, but thanks for taking a break.
You sure you don't want to ask me like 2 or 3 more questions? I'm good, I'm ready.
See, don't you want to come be part of the fun? It's In Shape MD, right there at Lee Highway and 153, the phone number, website there on the screen, and you too will be cheering yourself on as you go into the new year. Thank you both.
Thank
You're
you.
Fun.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
A winter